Hey there, it's Mindy. I have a very quick video for you today. I am working with people inside the Bodywork Project with what I'm calling sticky situations. A lot of students have recently, I don't know if there's something in the air or what's going on, but lots of students have been coming to the group and saying, this has happened or that's happened. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what's going on. So I've done a series of podcast episodes around these different sticky situations, but I wanted to do a video on what I call really sticky situations. So I'm going to talk about two things that have come up inside the group and how to handle them and give you some ideas on how you can move forward with them. So the first sticky situation is when somebody asks you to do something that you're not comfortable doing. So let me give you the example. Inside the Bodywork Project, one of the students was asking about a client who she has who said, I have this form that my employer wants me to bring to him that's the form says that I'm not allowed to go to work for the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the next month. And I want you to fill it out and sign it for me. And the person said inside the group, she said, I looked at the form and it clearly says this has to be signed by a doctor. So the student did the absolute right thing and said, I'm sorry, I can't sign this. It says it needs to be signed by a doctor. Why don't you give your doctor a call and, he can sign it for you. The student's client said, oh no, that's okay. I've already had another massage therapist do this for me. You can just sign it. And the student inside the Bodywork Project, she was like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to handle it. So what do you do if somebody, a client, somebody you're working with asks you to do something that you're not comfortable with? Well, first of all, you don't do it, right? You don't let yourself get pushed into something that you don't feel comfortable with, no matter what it is. So in this case, you could say something like, I understand that your other massage therapist has done that, but it's not something I feel comfortable with. It's beyond my scope of practice, so I think you should take it to your doctor and ask him to sign it for you. Now, do you see how I didn't sort of defer or I didn't get defensive? So I didn't say, I'm not sure, let me check, I don't know, right? You just remember, being clear is being kind. So just boom, boom, set those boundaries. So I don't feel comfortable doing this. It's beyond the scope of my practice. And then give a suggestion. You could ask your doctor to complete this. Don't say, well, go ask your doctor, and if he says no, then come back and we'll. No. Clear, concise, to the point, being clear is being kind. I'm not able to sign this. It's beyond the scope of my practice. Perhaps you could ask your doctor to complete it for you. Now, the second part of this comes when perhaps you're in a session and something inappropriate happens. If that is ever the case, you need to end that session immediately. But I've had students ask me, well, I don't know what to say. Like, what do I do? Do I just walk out of the room? What do I say? What do I do? Again, being clear is being kind. So you can say something like, that's not appropriate, whatever it is. That language is not appropriate. I don't accept that type of language in my practice. I'm going to end the session now. Right? It could be, if it's, I don't know, let's say the client tells a gross joke or something that offends you. Right? You don't have to, depending on your relationship with the client, if you've been seeing the person a long time or whatever, you don't have to end the session immediately. You could say, that type of joke is not appropriate, and I am not willing to have that type of language be used in this practice. The person will probably say, oh gosh, I had no idea, I didn't mean to offend you. And then you can go on. But if it's something, if the client is during the session asking you to do something you're not comfortable with, something that is beyond your scope of practice, I've had that sometimes. Can you adjust my spine? Yeah, no, I'm not a chiropractor, right? So, and you can just say, no, that's beyond the scope of my practice, and then continue on. If you need to end the session, whatever it is, that language, that inappropriate touch. It's not appropriate. I'm going to end the session. And then you leave, take your hands off, close the door, let the person get changed. And then afterwards, you can speak to them if you'd like about why that was not appropriate and how, they can either get it together and continue to come back, or you're no longer be working with them. And that conversation is something like, I understand that, whatever, you thought this was a different type of massage. That's not the type of massage I do. I wish you the best. I will not be able to continue seeing you as a client. So if you find yourself in a very difficult situation, it can be scary. It can be, your heart might be beating quickly. Remember, you are in control. You are in control of yourself, your practice, your boundaries. Just be as clear and concise as possible, and then let it go. There's nothing that you need to do. You don't need to second guess yourself. If it doesn't feel right, I would say if my spidey senses are like, hey, something's off here, I listen to that. Something's off. And I can go back later and figure it out. But in the moment, you need to keep yourself safe. You need to make sure that you don't, because of the kindness in your heart, I know you're a good person, you want to help people, but don't let that be taken advantage of. You know when something's not right, follow that intuition. Be clear, be kind, and then you can let that go and go on to your ideal clients who want to work with you. Okay, that's it for today. There's a lot of people have been asking, well, two questions. A lot of people have been asking about my calendar behind me. So it is just something that I print out, and then I am a sticky note queen. So you might see those sticky notes moving and changing as the year goes on. That is my way of just seeing the year at a glance and knowing what's going on and what's happening in my business. And then the second thing I've been getting a lot of questions about is getting new clients in through the door. So I created a freebie guide for you. It's called How to Get Your Next 20 Clients. And you can pick it up if you're interested. It's mindytotten.com/guide. And we've got a link right below in the notes here. And that, I think, will help you really gain the confidence that you need to get your next 20 clients in through the door, if that's where you are in your practice. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you next time.